Tony D and Little Joan in the background, and this is your Screenwriter's Rant on Spinal Tap 2. The End Continues, starring Rob Reiner, Christopher Guest, Michael McKean, I can't think of his name. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. The links are in the description. Comedy Horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys books 1 through 17. 18. Available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. First up, the guys look old. Yes, they do. They look very old. The energy is mostly there. I don't know. It's not hitting the same as the first one. I think she was from the original movie. They look friggin' old, man. They look very old. Harry Shearer. God, I couldn't think of his name. Here they are trying to recruit a drummer. Nobody wants to be their drummer for the tour. It's probably too late to do this. I want it to be good. I really do. Rob Reiner is so annoying with his politics, but maybe he'll set it aside for a few months to promote this movie. There's some celebrity guests. You've got Elton John is stepping in. I mean, it's not a bad premise. It's just here the manager is suggesting it'd be great if one or two of them died. And then Michael McKean suggests, what about if one of us was in a coma? And he says, that's interesting. The problem is it's the music industry as a target just isn't what it used to be. I mean, it's still, probably terrible. But like nobody really cares. And that's mostly rap guys now. So, and this movie was probably shot before all the Diddy stuff dropped, but that would have been amazing to put that in. So I don't know, man. Like when this came out, yeah, it was super relevant because rock and roll was still a thing. Now, I don't know. This feels as old as those guys look, and they look bad. Is that on purpose? I mean, they look so old. And they're all just, the energy is just not there. They need to be like, I don't know, someone give these guys a cup of coffee or something. The energy is like, not feeling it at all. Rob Reiner is running them over with energy. That's the way it feels. So what's the plot? I think it centers around their reunion tour, right? So we're going to see that they all went their separate ways at some point, and they've all been doing wacky things. I think Michael McKean is in a mariachi band. Christopher Guest is running a cheese shop. Harry Shearer's running a crypto scam. I mean, it's not bad. I just like the energy. I want the energy of the first one, It felt like things were happening in the first one. This just feels like, yeah, we're doing this. Yeah. You'll come. You'll see it. It's also being produced by Bleecker Street, which is like, now, to me, the Bleecker Street people, they've been getting bigger, but they're not a very big production hub. It also says Castle Rock, who is basically, I think, Rob Reiner's company. But like they were huge at one point. Now maybe not so much. It just feels smaller and a lack of energy. I mean, I hope they're going to have new songs. That would be fun. Um, but even the musical guests, Elton John looks as old as these guys because he is, if not older. And then guy from the Roots, Paul McCartney. Like a Paul McCartney cameo the first time they shot this thing would have been exciting. Would have been like, oh my God, it's Paul McCartney. Because it was in the 80s when McCartney was still kind of relevant. He had a solo career with Wings in the 70s. And I don't know, was Wings done by the 80s? I think it was. So, like, the Beatles were still, their presence were still kind of felt. Like now, not so much. The music industry has very much changed. This looks like they haven't changed it much. Like it's still the same kind of thing. And the formula just isn't hitting like it would have. You really have to go for the jugular in comedy, and if you don't, like even in the Simpsons episode these guys appeared in, it was Spinal Tap playing, and then they had written on the back of their guitar certain things to say to the audience in order to get them to react, and they said, like, oh, when we were coming down, whatever route it was, and they mentioned the number, but it was written on the guitar. And then they said it, and the audience goes wild. Hey, I live near there. And then, and they said something else about the area, and people went bananas. But, like, they were phonies, right? They didn't really know the area. They were just given those tidbits so they could say it, and the audience would get psyched. And then somebody, I think, throws a bottle at Michael McKean and hits him in the head, and he gets mad and goes, "Ah, my eye! That's it, Springfield," and saying the town's name wrong. "There will be no encores," and they just leave the stage and everybody riots. So it was funny, and then at the end, spoilers of the episode, the Spinal Tap tour bus goes off a cliff and bursts into flame, which is sort of on brand for their hapless band, right? Like all these horrible things seem to happen to them. This feels like kind of like they're phoning it in, Out of the three of them, Harry Shearer seems to have a little bit of energy to him, but man, they just look. Now, maybe they wanted to look this way for the course of the movie, But, yeah. It feels like they're not really on point. Here's a little energy in this scene. Here's the crypto. Here's Michael McKean. Like, even in this scene, like, I wanted to see him, like, put his feet together, get a step, and, like, really, go to town. And he sort of does. I'll just play a little bit of the action. See, like, the energy's just so... He's got a little bit of energy. And Christopher Guest maybe a little. Like, even that maneuver, like, it's kind of like, I want to see more. And I get it, they're older. But you got to bring it for comedy, man. Or you got to do something else, Make fun of the fact that they're so old. Break a hip or something. I don't know, man. I've got so many mixed feelings about this. I really don't want to support Rob Reiner. I find him... Meathead has really annoyed me over the years. like the past, I'll say 4 years, with his nonsense and his rabid politicalness, but the other guys not so much. Although, yeah, they got their political views, and I think they're all pretty liberal, but I don't know, didn't feel like they were rubbing it in my face. Harry Shearer has his own podcast or whatever, but so do I. I don't fault him for that. He talks about stuff. But just, if I set that aside, it just kind of feels low energy. Even this. Like, Michael McKean, wake up. Wake up, man. But, and then, like, see, in the first movie, they could parody all these recent rock albums. Like, what are they going to parody now? What recent rock album is so influential that they could parody it? There hasn't really been one since, like, the 90s. Quite frankly, I wanted to see them go through the 90s and do, like, a grunge phase, and then that's the last one I could think of. After that, maybe you could do a 2000s Blink 182 phase kind of deal. Where they do different songs in different eras. After that, as much as I don't want to see old men rap, what I'd like to see is, like, somehow Spinal Tap, like, hires a rap guy because they're trying to stay relevant, and it's just pathetic. So maybe they just hire a rap guy, and, like, he becomes big and just leaves them high and dry. Something like that. That's what the first movie was. It was more about parodying the music industry. This feels like it's kind of just parodying it itself, really. Would I see it? Man, I don't think I'd go to the theater for it unless all my friends, like, called me up and said, "Oh, we're gonna go see Spinal Tap. Come on," and then I'd go, because I'm that way. If people want to go, I'm usually a joiner in that realm, because I just like to go see movies and hang out. But on my own, no way. No, I'd wait for streaming. I wouldn't want to pay for this movie. It doesn't look worth paying for. It looks kind of boring. And it's kind of bumming me out. And it kind of has, I guess the acts are going to be first act, what were they doing, what happened after the movie, maybe a recap, and then what happened after the first movie, how they broke up again, and whatever. Second act, it's about the reunion tour and them getting back together. Third act is the actual tour, some of the songs, and then, their eventual fate, sort of thing. I like the title, Spinal Tap, The End Continues. I don't know. Maybe I would give it a chance. Yeah, on streaming, I guess I would watch it. But I'm very torn. Very torn about the whole thing. Let's read the write-up. 41 years after the release of the groundbreaking mockumentary This Is Spinal Tap, the now estranged bandmate David St. Hubbins, Nigel Tufnell, and Derek Smalls are forced to reunite for one final concert. Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues, also marks the resurrection of documentarian Marty DiBergi, who once again tries to capture his favorite metal gods as they contemplate mortality in the hope that their 12th drummer doesn't join them in the great beyond. Joined by musical royalty Paul McCartney and Elton John, Spinal Tap wrestles with their checkered past to put on a concert they hope will solidify their place in the pantheon of rock and roll. That's it? That's the only... so it's Elton John, Paul McCartney, Questlove, and Chris Addison. That's the only guys you could get to appear in the movie? That's kind of a short list. You couldn't get a couple more musical guests? Yeah, this is definitely wait for streaming kind of situation. Thought this would be a fun one, but I was wrong. Anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joe. I will be at the Words Matter bookstore tomorrow in Pitman, New Jersey at 5 p.m. for my talk on how to hunt the Jersey Devil. I'll be there from about 5 to 8, hopefully. Pitman's a cool town now. It's got cool stuff to do. It's got a brewery. It's got a live theater. Towns all open up on Friday night. So it should be great. Come on out. Saturday and Sunday, I'll be at Pirates and Mermaids in Bridgeton, New Jersey, down at the Dragon Shops. The weather is looking mostly nice for Saturday. Sunday could get some rain. Keep watching the skies, and we'll take it day by day. Hope to see you there. We'll see you tomorrow.